Alright, we continue where we left. There was 2 missions remaining. It was applied fusion and exploding head syndrome. So I've changed a bit. I've done them in advance because actually there's a lot big reflection part that I prefer to skip. So I'm just going to explain how I did that. So in this mission you have water in, and then in the end you want phosphoric acid. We will have some fusions on the way and everything. So the first thing I did is let's see, I wish I could remove this. Anyway, the first thing I did is separate the hydrogen and oxygen. On this one I've super improved that part to make it as little as possible. I don't believe that you can make less cycle, because this is one molecule and the whole number of cycle depends on this one. I've optimized this one. So we cannot change where we grab it. We could have changed where we drop it, like at the top. Maybe it could have improved a bit the speed, but I still leave it as the traditional 1-1 location in the input and output, especially the input, because I cannot change it. So the red one takes the whole molecule, bring it to the area where it's supposed to be consumed. Both of them are carrying the HO that have no reason to be here. Because they're being carried, we can already flush that one. So now the next goal is to, we can just drop the hydrogen here and flush it, and then just get rid of the oxygen and flush. And it's actually a perfect timing. So it's like there's no stop. Even if there's some sinks, actually there's actually no stop. Okay, so this was the first thing, separating hydrogen and oxygen. So the hydrogen is going to go here. So you remember the first wire divider that we made. All right. So I had a problem with this one in the way it works. Maybe I can show it in one of the previous missions. Did we have the wire divider here? Yeah. So I had the case where we were lucky in this one. I had the case where the boss grab it at the same time, and then you get the error like a boss while those have grabbed it, and then your reaction stops. So you still have, how can I say, I have decided to make another one that is more complicated, because we have to calculate stuff. And you need to know how you are going to divide, so it's good for when you know how much you're going to use of each of them, but that's usually the case. So here it's working. So this is going to decide how much I output down there. So it's these 2 sinks plus 1. Okay, so it's going to be 3. We're going to give 3 hydrogen down, and this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 here, plus 1 is going to be 7, so 7 up. Okay, so 7 up and 3 down. Okay, so I'm going to explain to you why I did it this way. The goal is to make phosphoric acid. In this, the big thing that we need to get is phosphorus. So how do we get the phosphorus? The phosphorus is here, is 15, all right? And the base component we have is hydrogen and oxygen, is water. Okay, so if 2 times 8 is 16, so we cannot make phosphor with 2 oxygen. So from the beginning, we know that there's 7 hydrogen that need to be used to make the phosphor, right? So 7 hydrogen for the phosphor. So if we take the whole molecule, we're gonna have 7 hydrogen, okay? We're gonna have 1 oxygen for the phosphor. Okay, so 5 oxygen total, 10 hydrogen total, right? And that's it. And the thing is that we exactly have that quantity in this molecule. If we take 10 of this, we're gonna get, sorry, if we get 5, we take 5 of this, we're gonna have 5 oxygen, all right, and 10 hydrogen, 2 times 5, right? So that's perfect in this very in this case. So we want to split it. There will be 3 hydrogens that's going to be used for the outside binding, and 7 hydrogen are going to be used in the phosphorus, for the phosphorus. Okay, so that is why we have a separator. The bottom's going to get 3 and the top's going to get 7. The top, I make the pipe a bit longer so that it can stack there, but we actually had no problem finishing the thing. We get hydrogen and oxygen, all right? And this is the typical fuse thingy. So we bring the oxygen as the base, and then we're just going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, basically, hydrogen to the oxygen to get 15, and we get the phosphor out. And then the phosphor, so that's for this part. And for the oxygen, we also have a divider, but this is very easy. So there's 5 oxygen, right? There's 1 that's gonna go to the top. It's gonna be for the phosphor, and then 3 plus 1 equal 4 go to the bottom, and then we have the 5 oxygen used, right? So that's it for the oxygen. So we have hydrogen splitter, oxygen splitter. Then the oxygen goes to make the phosphor. So this one's being used, and the other 4 oxygen are gonna arrive here with the phosphor. Okay. So this is a bit complicated, to be honest, but not so. It is. I'm gonna say I wanted to make this molecule, okay, from these 2, and so I tried many ways to make it, and we're gonna see how it goes. But basically, by doing this, because once we have used already 3, 1 to split in H and O, 1 to split the O's and the H, we only have 3 generators remaining, right? And actually the 1 is used for phosphor, so we only have 2 remaining. So we need to make basically this molecule from phosphor, hydrogen and oxygen. And if you check all of this, well, this is a lot of links, and so we're gonna have a lot of it's good to find a way to split things, so, and with the different components. So you can either take all the oxygen and hydrogen, but this is complicated, you see. So I thought that it would be easier to just make the center, the star there. And if I can make the star, the rest will be easy, right? So how did I think that about that? Is all about we have only 4 links here, 3 links that we can make, okay? But we have the left one to do. So at some point we're gonna push it to the right, okay, and make 1 extra link with the oxygen and grab it at the same time, if I'm not mistaken. And then the molecule is gonna be done, okay? And the end is very similar in the way that it's gonna appear here. We're gonna move it here. We're gonna link the hydrogen, this hydrogen and this hydrogen first, so around here and here. We put the star here, and then we're gonna carry it to the right, okay, so that we can make a final bond here, okay? And then we just deliver the molecule. Let's see a bit how it works. Okay, so we start to see the split. Sorry. So maybe I can show you the different things. So this one we showed already. This one's about splitting 3/7. So let's see how it goes. So first, we deliver the top. We actually, how do we detect things? We actually detecting, you remember that in the normal splitter that I built before, there's a time where this one carries 1, right? Finish the whole loop. So this time, because it finishes the whole loop, it's gonna steal it from the red Waldo. So instead of making a loop, we can exit that loop at that time and like reverse the whole situation. So we keep letting the things here are about just one little thing. There is one extra thing at the very start because otherwise we will have the number of elements will not be correct on the first round. We will only have 6. Okay, so there's an extra thing on the start, and we never return to the start in this case. Okay, so H. Now we delivered the last H. Okay, and here when we're gonna sync, the blue is gonna steal it from the red one. And at that time, we have a sensor here to tell to the red, okay, it's finished for you. We reverse the situation. So now it's the H that's just turning in circle. And it's syncing each time it passes it. And then the red one. So here you see we have a very high way of synchronization. We have all this if we need to split, and all of this if we need to split, and we can even push this one a long way. So this split is very good. I'm satisfied with it because we really have long areas there. Okay, and then you did not see that, but so now we are returning to the previous one. But the sensor is going to be used a second time when the red one this time steals it from the blue one. So here we get out. Okay. Okay, we're getting ready for the last round and ready to steal. At that time, the situation is reversed. It's the blue one that is the generating stuff and synchronizing after. So I don't believe there is any way of any reason for it to collide. There's only one of them at a time that's generating input. So it's generated, stolen by the red, and then here, same situation. The sensor here told the blue one that is off. All right. The red returns to the normal one because it finished its extra. How can I say? Its breaking loop for this one. All right, so that's it for that part. I reuse it for oxygen and hydrogen. It works good. We can run the thing. So now this is like we said, is very typical. How can I say? Fusion is our base fusion reactor. Okay. After that, the next one is going to be making this molecule. So that's interesting. Let's wait until we get everything. We need the phosphor first. Okay, so it's around 200 cycles. Okay, it's going to start now. So the phosphor is the beginning of everything. Phosphorus is the beginning of everything. Is going to be put in position. Then an oxygen is going to be put in position. Then we're going to go in for one more time to pick up a last oxygen and drop it here. Here we sync. Is the time to tell the blue one, okay, it's your turn, and we're going to wait for its acknowledgement. I mean, its sync, its reverse sync basically. So now is the job of the blue one to put one extra oxygen, and we're going to bond. Okay, now we need to grab it, which is what we're doing, and drop it. So we're translating it to the right by one cell. Okay, now we're in for the last grab. And actually, yes, so I did something here is that I'm releasing the red one a bit early, so that the red one is gonna be able to, because it's a bit a mess here, I decided to release the red one, and the red one will be responsible for bonding. Since this one carry an oxygen around, all the molecules gonna bond to it and follow it up, and then we just put it out, and then getting back one more thing, going to position. Okay, that's a big complicated one. Okay, last reactor, it's about making the final one. It's about 300 symbols. So here we're waiting for the main molecule as well, I think. That's it. Yeah, we're waiting for the main molecule. Okay, so we're carrying it in position, just like we did. After that, we want to be bringing 2 hydrogen here. Alright. So they're coming. Dropping it, taking the second one. Remember that we need to go all around the molecule, otherwise we're gonna collide. So we drop, bond, and give the power to the blue one. We're just gonna carry it away. Generate the final hydrogen, and bond the whole molecule directly and carry it all the way out. And that's done. Alright, maybe I used many symbol for my dividers. Yeah, I used the maximum number of reactors on this one. So now it's about the exploding head syndrome, okay? The horror of the deep. So, the base molecule is again water, and from water we want hydrogen 1 link, oxygen 2 link, and plutonium. Okay, plutonium is 94, I think. Yeah, it's 94. So, so what did I do? First, I split it by hydrogen oxygen. Okay, the typical loop that we used in the previous one. After that, we had hydrogen, and I decided that we should try to make a carbon. So to make it, how can I say, 1 plutonium, the closest multiple of 8, which is oxygen, which is our only other atom available. The closest multiple of 8 is going to be 88, 11 times 8, okay, because otherwise it's going to be 96, and we will pass the plutonium, and we have no fission capability for now. So, so what we have to do is to make a 88, so 11 times oxygen, 11 oxygen used, plus 6 hydrogen fused together, and 6 hydrogen is a carbon. So when I was handling the hydrogen here, instead of splitting, so basic split, I've made a more advanced split that's able to output a carbon at the top and the final hydrogen link here, okay? And I've also added a control here so that we can bypass the creation of carbon to push more to the hydrogen, okay? So we can see it work. Let's see. So we start by doing 1 hydrogen that we drop. Then we prepare the fusion. So why do we do 1? Actually, I'm trying to output 2. The whole loop outputs 2. 1 at the beginning, 1 at the end. If we do both at the same time at the end, we don't have enough sync. Here we have plenty of syncs a bit everywhere to do what we need to do to make the 6 carbons. Or maybe I just output 1 hydrogen total. No, I think it's 2. So the carbon drop and flush. I feel that this one is never used. I made a mistake here. So I only output 1. Yeah, I only output 1. HH. Okay. But I can increase the capability, the input of HH. If I put F1, then it's just going to output HH, H2. Okay. So that's one way for us to control the exhaust for HH. Okay, so that's one thing. We have carbon and we have HH done already. On the oxygen side. So on the oxygen side, we have, you remember we have 1 plutonium and we have a link of 2 oxygen. So my guess was that we should output, how can I say? We should output it's not this one. So we should output 2 oxygen for 1 plutonium. So that's what we need to do. That's what we did in this one. So it's like a modified version of the fusion reactor, the cycle fuse. But so it's going to output 1 oxygen, and then it's going to start the typical reaction. We're still waiting for the carbon to arrive because it's our base. We need to position it here. It should be here soon. Okay, it's here. At that time, we let the red loop work, and we control it by sinks. So during all that time, we can grab an oxygen for ourselves. And then we continue the sync. This continues to increase. It's 11 times to get the plutonium. We trash the other oxygen there. We're arriving at the end loop. We have plutonium here. Grab it. The red one's gonna wait in sync with the oxygen. And the blue one's returning to start. For a new loop, an oxygen, bringing 2 oxygen out. So just like for the HH, this oxygen is gonna be used for the O2 link. Okay. So just like it, I've decided to add control B here, so that we can bypass the part where we fuse. Instead, we go back to the start, and so that we can just give more oxygen to the other parts. Okay. At the end, the last reactor, we get the plutonium already. It's here, but as you can see, it's a bit strange. It looks like we only need a little plutonium and a lot more of the other elements. It's a bit strange. So that is good. There is and since we can I'm gonna say we will have to control. We use the controls here to increase the HH, H2 and O2. Okay. So if we continue the whole simulation, we're gonna start to have problems. The thing's gonna saturate and block. Okay, because we actually not outputting enough hydrogen on this area, and the whole thing starts to block. Okay, so and here we need oxygen, but because the hydrogen is blocked, all the pipes full. This one is blocked as well and cannot generate more oxygen. So this one is simple. I'm just turning on the hydrogen. When it starts, I just turn on the overflow in hydrogen and oxygen on this side. Okay. Whenever we start to be ready, at that time I'm going to turn it off, and then we're outputting plutonium. And bye bye monster. Alright, that's it for Planet Scimitar. See you in next episode for the planet Hephaestus 4.